Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kassandra and today we're going to do a short class to really open up the hips. So maybe have a block or two within grabbing distance, otherwise let's just go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and reach our right leg out and turn your left hip open. Still sitting up nice and tall here. You might need to bend a little bit through your right knee. No problem. Keep your right toes pointing up towards the sky. Sliding your right hand down your leg. On an inhale, reach your left arm up towards the sky. And as you exhale, start to move into a side bend. And we're just warming up here, so there's no need to go down too low or push yourself too hard. Keep rolling your left shoulder back so you get a nice extension through the left side of your ribs, and let your head be heavy, neck relaxed. Right hand goes wherever you need it to so that you feel supported in this pose. Getting a little bit longer and taller through the side waist. Let's take one more inhale here to reach. And as you exhale, slowly make your way back through to center. And let's switch sides. Bring your right leg in, left leg out, pointing your left toes up towards the sky. So you're not facing your left leg, you're staying centered. Let's reach our left leg down. Inhale, right arm rises. And as you exhale, find your side bend on the second side, rolling your right shoulder back, softening the neck, letting the head be heavy. Deep belly breaths. And if you have kids or pets running around, or a good distraction to help you stay focused on your breath. Let's take another inhale here. And then slowly lift your way back up through center. Let's come onto hands and knees. Tabletop pose, spreading the fingertips wide, knees directly underneath your hips. And I'm gonna turn towards you so you can see me better, but just stay exactly as you were. Let's reach our right leg out. Right toes are parallel, so right toes pointing forward towards the top of your mat. And let's come on up, hands onto your hips. On an inhale, right arm reaches up towards the sky. And as you exhale, move away from your leg, dropping your left fingertips down onto the mat and getting really deep into that right waist. Keep pressing into your right foot, maybe leaning back a little bit, broadening through the chest. Start to reach your right fingertips towards your right leg. Use your obliques to lift yourself up and back through to center. Let's drop our right palm down onto the mat, finding a variation of thread the needle. Take a few moments here, sending the breath into the lower back. Starting to open up a little bit through the hips and hamstrings. Relax your neck. Let's press into our right hand, come on up. And before we go and do the second side, start to spin towards your right leg so that you're making your way into your half splits. Flexing your right toes towards your face, reaching your heart forward, shoulder blades down your back. Left hip is gonna wanna start opening up, so keep drawing it forward, right hip back. And if you need to, bend a little bit through your front knee. Let's take one inhale here. Reach it forward, and then start to bend into your right knee, finding your low lunge. Allowing your hips to sink down a little bit lower, keeping your heart lifted. So really starting to get into the hips here. And let's straighten our right leg once more, finding your tabletop pose as you bring your right knee back in underneath the hip. And let's do that same sequence on the second side. So let's reach our left leg out first, left toes point forward. Once you have your balance, come on up. Sliding your left hand down your leg. Inhale, left arm reaches up and over, and find a side bend as you drop your right fingertips down onto the mat. Bicep along the ear and maybe rolling it back just a little bit so that you feel that nice stretch through the left side of your waist, keeping your left foot firmly pressed down. Taking an inhale here, Start to reach your left fingertips towards your foot. Use your obliques. Come on up. Plant your palms down onto the mat, finding thread the needle. So this time you're reaching your right arm through, lowering right shoulder and ear onto the ground. Keep rolling your left shoulder back, free up your neck. 3 deep belly breaths. Press into your left palm, come on up. And then start to spin towards your left leg. Finding your half splits, keep your left foot flexed, pointing towards you. This time you're pulling your right hip forward, left hip back. Shoulder blades drawing down your back. Feet are still hip width distance apart. Feel the breath travel all the way down that left leg, deep into the hamstrings. Find your low lunge as you bend into your left knee, letting your hips sink down a little bit lower and lifting your chest up a little bit higher. Fingertips can stay down on the mat. And let's straighten through our leg. Finding your tabletop pose once more. Palms underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And let's find our first downward dog. So step your palms a couple inches past your shoulders. Curl your toes under, and then gently start to straighten your legs as you reach your tailbone up towards the sky. And don't worry so much about having your heels touch the mat. Maybe paddle your feet here, so just bending into one knee and straightening through the other leg. Palms are still shoulder width distance apart, focusing on pressing your chest towards your thighs, relaxing your neck so your head can be heavy. Curling tailbone up, and you bend your knees as much as you need to. Let's take 3 deep breaths right here. In and out through the nose. And looking forward to the top of the mat, step your feet in between your palms. Find your forward fold, ragdoll. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Allow your belly to rest over your thighs. Gentle traction at the back of the neck. Bend your knees generously and slowly make your way up to stand, rolling 1 vertebrae at a time. Head and shoulders are the last to come up. Let's take some sun salutation variations here to warm up the body a little bit more, and then we'll really get into the hips. So on an inhale, reach both arms up, bring your palms to touch. And as you exhale, fold forward, hinging at the waist. Bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your palms, step your right foot back, dropping your right knee down, low lunge. Inhale, lifting the upper body up. Maybe looking up if that's comfortable here. And as you exhale, find your downward facing dog. On an inhale, let's come forward into plank pose, shoulders over your wrists. And on the exhale, lower your knees down first, come all the way down onto your belly. Find your cobra, inhale, chin and chest lift up. Elbows are bent, hugging in. And as you exhale, make your way back through to your downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. Let's step our right foot forward in between our palms. Find your low lunge on the second side. Inhale, both arms reach up, maybe looking up. And this time as you exhale, plant your palms down, step up to the top of the mat and fold. Halfway lift, inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold once more. Press into your feet, come all the way up. Arms reach up, palms come to touch. Exhale, hands at the heart. Second side, inhale, reach your arms up, palms come to touch. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step your left foot back, drop your left knee down, low lunge, reach the upper body up, spread through the fingers. Exhale, plant your palms, downward dog. Hips go up and back. Inhale, move forward into plank pose, one long line as you ripple through. And then exhale, lower down. If you want to lower on your knees first, go ahead. Otherwise, just lower all the way. Finding your cobra, inhale, chin and chest lift up. And as you exhale, make your way into your downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. Lunge on the second side, step your left foot forward, drop your right knee down, reach your arms up. On the exhale, plant your fingertips down, step to the top of the mat and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften into the pose. Press to stand, both arms reach up overhead, palms come to touch. Exhale, hands at your heart. Staying at the top of the mat, let's bring our big toes to touch. Heels are about 1 inch or so apart. Bend your knees, sink your hips, find your chair pose. Tailbone is pointing down, lower abdominals are hugging in. Lift your chest up and maybe reach your arms up. Moving the weight into the heels, lifting and spreading all 10 toes. Take another inhale here. And as you exhale, fold forward, straighten through your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, find your downward facing dog. And let's go ahead and reach our right leg up towards the sky. Bend your right knee and open up your hip. So you're trying to get your right hip to stack over your left without rolling your right shoulder up. Keep the upper body exactly as it was in your downward dog. Spreading through the toes. Let's straighten and square that right leg and step your right foot forward in between your palms. Spin your back heel parallel to the short edge of your mat. Come on up into your warrior two. A really great hip opener here. Bending into your right knee, pressing that right knee open so you're externally rotating your hip. Notice if you're tilting forward or leaning back, try to keep the shoulders directly over top of your hips. Pressing into your back foot. Lower belly stays engaged. And let's reverse our warrior. Left palm down, right arm reaches up and over. If you'd like to take this a little bit deeper, go ahead and reach your left fingertips towards the front of the mat. Still bending generously into your right knee. Inhale, back into your warrior two. Let's find extended side angle. Right forearm over your right thigh. Left arm along the ear, one long diagonal line from your left fingertips towards your left toes. If you'd like to take this one deeper, drop your right palm to the inside of your right foot. Using your arm to press that knee open and get deeper into the hips. Still rolling your left shoulder back. Keeping your hips down low, pressing into your back foot. And look down. Drop your left fingertips down onto the mat. Toe heel your right foot all the way over towards the edge of your mat. Lifting your back heel off the mat, finding your lizard pose. You're either staying up high onto your palms or maybe coming down onto your forearms. Keep the heart reaching forward, hugging your right knee in towards your right bicep or shoulder. 5 smooth, steady breaths. If you need a break, drop your back knee down, otherwise keep it lifted and reaching. If you are down on your forearms, make your way back up onto your palms. Find your high plank, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, hovering halfway. Find your upward facing dog, inhale. Exhale, down dog. Slow, steady breaths. So just notice how that right hip feels compared to the left. See if you can press into your fingertips a little bit more. And let's look forward to the top of the mat, lifting your heels up, bending into the knees, step or hop. Find your halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Press to stand, reach all the way up, hands come to touch. Exhale, hands at your heart. Big toes are touching, heels are 1 inch apart, second side, bend your knees. Find your chair pose. Shifting the weight into the heels, maybe reaching your arms up, chest stays lifted. Fingertips and toes are active. Tailbone is pointing down. Take another breath here, and then exhale, fold forward, straighten your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down dog. Let's go ahead and reach our left leg up and back this time. Bend your left knee, open up through that left hip. So keep your left shoulder pressing down, focus on opening up the lower body only. Staying really strong through the arms, not bending the elbows, not letting all of your weight sink into your wrists. Let's straighten and square the left leg. Step your left foot forward to the top of the mat. Warrior two, back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat, both arms reaching up. Pressing that left knee open, keeping your shoulders over your hips. Gazing forward, let's reverse our warrior. Right palm down, left arm up and over. Keep that deep bend. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, reach your right fingertips towards the front of your mat. If you're not breathing, you've gone too far. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle, left forearm down, right arm up and over. Rolling your right shoulder back. If you'd like to take this one step further, drop your left fingertips down. Keeping your hips down, tailbone pointing down. Really important here. Pressing into both feet evenly. Start to look down. Drop your right palm onto the mat. Find your lizard pose. So toe heel your left foot to the outside edge of your mat. Stay high on the ball of your back toes, maybe on your palms or down onto your forearms. 5 steady breaths here, trying not to round and curve the back, but instead reaching your heart forward. Keep your left knee hugging in. If you're down on your forearms, start to ease your way back up onto your palms. Let's take our flow. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pressing into the upper thighs. Tailbone curling up. Maybe shaking out your head a few times, making sure the neck is relaxed. And let's look forward to the top of the mat. Step or hop both feet in between your palms. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Press to stand. Both arms are reaching up overhead. Palms come to touch. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. So I'll just move so you can see me. Let's transition into our tree pose. Lean into your left foot, left leg, and then bring your right foot either to the inside of your calf or up towards the inner thigh. So no matter where you're working with today, focus on pressing that right knee open, another external rotation, and try not to let all of your weight sink into your left hip. Keep squeezing everything in towards the midline, growing a little bit taller through the spine. And let's either bring our hands at our heart, or if there's another arm variation that helps you balance here, sometimes reaching the arms parallel to the ground or lifting the arms up high can be an easier way to balance. Just whatever way you prefer, focusing on opening up the hips. Keeping the gaze and breath steady. If you had your arms up, start to draw your palms down to the center of your chest. Let's find a standing pigeon pose from here. So pretty similar to where you already are. Cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. And maybe this is where you'll stay today. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, start to bend into your left knee as if you were sitting down into a chair pose. Chest is staying lifted, so I'll turn around so you can see a little bit better here. Keeping the right foot flexed to protect the right knee. Maybe sink down a little bit lower, and if you'd like to go all the way down into the pose, fingertips come down onto the mat. And this should help you get really deep into that right glute, outside edge of your right hip. And you can always use a block here if the floor is a little bit too far away. If you were down onto the ground, start to bring your hands at your chest, coming all the way back up, and let's transition into dancer's pose. So start to reach back as you grab a hold of your right foot with your right hand. Reaching your left arm out, find your balance and your focus. Start to kick your right foot into your right hand to lift that knee and lift the leg. And maybe your upper body will start to drop down, but not going too low. Let's bring it back to center. Hug your knee in towards your chest. Squeeze it in really tightly here. And then exhale, drop it down. Shake it out, and let's go and explore a second side. Finding your tree pose on your right leg. Maybe bring your left foot to the inside of the calf or up towards the inner thigh. Pressing your left knee open, engaging that right hip, engaging the obliques. Maybe bringing the hands at the heart. Or if you'd like to, you can reach your arms up. Getting the inhale just as long as the exhale. Start to bring your hands back to the center of your chest. Finding your standing pigeon as you cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh, and then bending into that right knee, finding your chair pose as you sink your hips, keeping your chest lifted. And maybe this is where you stay or you fold all the way down. Fingertips to the earth. Feeling the breath travel all the way down into that left hip. If you had your fingertips down, with control, ease your way back up to stand. And let's find our dancer's pose on the second side. So grabbing onto your left foot with your left hand, reaching your right arm forward. Start to kick that foot into the palm to get a lift. A little bit of a back bend here. Keep reaching and reaching. Being really steady with your gaze. Maintaining your focus. And let's make our way back to center. Sometimes you fall, it's no big deal. Hug your knee in towards your chest. And let's release, shaking it out. Standing at the top of your mat, let's take a flow. Inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step or hop back, chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog on the inhale. And then exhale, find your downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and reach our right leg up and back. Bend your right knee, open up that hip. And let's straighten and square our right leg. Finding pigeon pose, bring your right knee behind your right wrist. Reaching your left leg back. And you might want to stay up high if this is more than enough for you. Make sure you're not rolling on one hip more than the other. If you'd like to go deeper, walk your palms forward and fold all the way down. We're here for a good 10 to 15 breaths. Use a couple blocks if the floor is too far away. Just try to get yourself into a shape where you can really relax into it and let gravity do pretty much all of the work for you. Resisting the urge to fidget or move. Another 3 deep breaths. And start to walk your upper body back up, coming back to downward dog. And it might feel good to just stretch out through that back leg or do some hip circles, whatever works for you here, getting the blood moving again. So from our downward dog, let's reach our right leg up again. So same leg that we just did. Keep your right toes pointing down, right hip rolling down. And then as you exhale, bring your right foot in between your palms to the top of the mat. And then walk your palms over towards the left side of your mat. Keep your right knee bent. Flex your left toes as you lower your hips. So you might end up being a lot higher, or you might be able to go all the way down. And if you are able to go down, make sure you're flexing through your left foot, keeping the chest lifted. And if you'd like to go deeper, reach for a bind. So you're bringing your right arm in front of your right leg, bending at the elbow. Left arm reaches up towards the sky and then bend into that left arm as well, clasping your arms behind you. Let's just take 5 deep breaths here. Really great way to get into the hips. And just know that you can always keep your palms down on the mat if this is too much. Let's start to release our bind, palms down. Walk your palms back to the top of the mat and find your downward dog. Pressing into the heels, spreading through the fingertips. Let's find our pigeon pose on the second side. Inhale, left leg reaches up, bend your left knee, open up your hip. Engaging the glutes and quads to lift that knee up a tiny bit higher. Straighten and square your left leg and then bring your left knee behind your wrist. Reach your right leg all the way back and find your fold. Smooth, steady breaths. Try to really feel yourself melt into this pose. Especially through the arms and shoulders, they're going to want to stay tense as you stay in here. then let's make our way back up through to our downward facing dog. Do any little movements that you need to do here. Get the blood flowing again through that left leg. And this time, reach your left leg up once more. Keep it straight this time. Left toes pointing down. And step your left foot to the top of the mat. Walk your palms to the right side of your mat. Keep your left knee bent. Flex into your right foot as you sink your hips. So the first variation of the pose, you're keeping your palms down onto the mat. Otherwise, find your half bind. Right arm reaching up towards the sky, and maybe bending into your right elbow, clasping your hands. 5 steady breaths right here. And balancing can be a little bit tricky here, so if you fall out of it, no big deal. Let's find our downward dog, last one. And drop your knees down onto the mat, come to seated. So moving the ankles out of the way. Let's take butterfly pose. This is one of my favorite hip openers. It really gets to the outer edges of the hips that we're not able to target a lot. So not like butterfly where your heels are close to the hips. Instead, keep your knees at about a 90-degree angle, maybe a little bit more. You might want to sit up on a block or place a block under each knee. As you inhale, you're reaching your collarbones high towards the sky. And on the exhale, start to fold forward. And if you have the range here, you can bring your forearms underneath the shins, palms facing up, and just let yourself melt into the pose. We'll stay here for about a full minute or so, allowing the upper body to relax and soften into the shape. Feel the breath travel all the way down into the lower body. Take your last 10 or so breaths right here. Take your time as you roll all the way back up. And so now let's come into our full butterfly pose. So bring your heels in closer if you can. Soles of the feet are still pressing in towards each other. Knees are dropping down. Inhale to reach up and then exhale to fold. And let's walk our palms forward for this one. Softening the upper body. And don't worry about how far down you make it. Benefits of the pose are the same, regardless of where you end up. Here for about a minute or so. And let's walk our palms back up. Use your hands to bring the knees back in towards each other and lie all the way down onto your back. Maybe taking a big stretch as you get there, reaching the arms overhead, growing really long from fingertips to toes. And settle into Savasana, your final resting pose. Arms reaching out, palms facing up. Take up as much space as you'd like. Get really comfortable and settled in here. Maybe allowing the eyes to close. Just notice the residual effects in the hips and the legs, maybe in the lower back. Observing the sensations in your body after this practice. There won't be an outro to this video, which means that you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you would like. I encourage you to stay for a few more minutes. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. Namaste.